that bitch that I'm tryna bang with. Real dead man out of vet, puck out of range. Out the door.
Deshayla Harris was only 28 when she died in one of 3 separate shootings that happened in the Virginia Beach resort area on March 26th. According to a press release from the Virginia Beach Police Department, Deshayla was an innocent bystander at the second shooting incident. She is reported to have died at the scene. In a press briefing related to the shootings, Virginia Beach PD Chief Paul Newgate gave an update on Deshayla's case, saying that there are currently no arrests at the moment, but they truly believe she was an innocent victim in the incident.
Our next incident, of course, is the tragic death of Ms. Deshayla Harris. That is still very much under investigation. There are no material updates at this point. There are no arrests at this time. We do believe that she truly is, at this point in time, an innocent victim that was probably struck by stray gunfire in some regards.
Deshayla appeared on the 17th season and final season of Bad Girls Club back in 2017, where she was dubbed the Firecracker Fashionista. Key Hamilton, one of Deshayla's co-stars on Bad Girls Club, wrote a tribute to Deshayla on Instagram. She wrote, quote, "No matter how much I refused to talk to you, you never took no for an answer. You popped up to my show just to prove fixing our friendship meant something to you. Hardest part about losing you is I never fully forgave you." Deshayla's death comes just months after the Bad Girls Club franchise lost cast member Whitney Collings in December. Whitney, whose nickname was Boston on the show, died of unspecified causes at the young age of 33.
So, look who popped up and surprised me at my show.
I had to, y'all.
I didn't know she was coming, y'all.
And I've been here for 2 days, could not tell her.
So,
Right, Pamela, almost 48 hours since those shootings, a lot of key questions still unanswered. The biggest question tonight remains, was Donovon Lynch, the young 25-year-old black man who was killed by a police officer, was he armed or was he not armed at the time of that confrontation? The police chief has said that there was a firearm found in the vicinity of that shooting. That's all that police are saying. We've been pressing them for answers for the last 48 hours and to give us anything more on that situation. They have not been able to provide more information. Another key question unanswered, why was the police officer's body camera not activated at the time? Police have still not answered that. As of last night, they said they had not even spoken to that police officer. We've been pressing them today on whether that situation has changed, whether that officer has hired an attorney or not. Again, not getting any answers tonight. What I can tell you is a short time ago, I spoke with an attorney for the family of Donovon Lynch. The attorney did not want to go on camera. The family does not want to go on camera at this time. But the attorney did say that the Virginia Beach police have reached out to the family. That's all that he would say about that. He would not characterize that any further. But he described Donovon Lynch as a, quote, stand-up guy, someone who was liked by all, that the family is in shock, in mourning, that they, quote, need to exhale right now. They may be speaking to the media in the coming days. And he confirmed a statement by Donovon Lynch's father, Wayne Lynch, the father saying, quote, a father's dream son, intelligent, handsome, a scholar, an athlete, an entrepreneur, and loved by all he came in contact with. Rest in peace, Don. Again, so many pieces to this puzzle, not yet put together, Pamela. I can tell you, I can show you how chaotic that situation was. On Friday night, the shooting erupted just over my right shoulder in that parking lot over there. That's where 8 victims were hit, at least 4 of them remaining in the hospital this afternoon. Donovon Lynch was shot and killed in that block of 20th Street right there. And a third person, Deshayla Harris, who we're told was a star on the reality show The Bad Girls Club. She was shot about a block away from here on 19th Street. Police still also trying to put together, Pamela, whether these incidents are connected. Again, not giving that information tonight. We're still pressing them for answers.
Demonstrators gathered this afternoon. They held a protest in town center. We've learned that the officer's body camera was not active Friday night. They're demanding justice, and they want the officer removed from the force.
The fact that the officer's body camera was on him but not initiated at that time is very concerning to me as a citizen, because I pay for that. And that goes against Virginia Beach Police's own policy, and that officer should be terminated. Another innocent black man has been murdered and shot by the police, and we have no video evidence of it at all. And that's not our...
The officer has yet to be interviewed.
Virginia Beach oceanfront. 2 people were killed and 8 others were injured in 3 separate incidents. Chopper 10 was above those investigations early this morning. 3 people were arrested. Amon Adams, Naquez Baker, and Devin Dorsey Jr. faced assault and firearms charges. The initial shooting happened on Atlantic Avenue. Then police say 29-year-old Deshayla Harris was shot and killed on 19th Street. 25-year-old Donovan Lynch was shot and killed by police on 20th Street. And less than 3 hours ago, police gave us an update on what they know up to this point in the investigation. We learned a little more about the officer-involved shooting from the police chief. So let's get right to the details now. 10 News Side's Tamara Scott is live in Virginia Beach with those details. Tamara?
Well, Madison, there were a lot of revelations tonight. There were 3 separate incidents here. First, 7 people were shot, then 2 people were shot, one of them killed, and then finally a man was shot by police. Now, we are told that there is no suspects at this time for the woman who was shot in that second incident. There's no body cam footage for the police-involved shooting, and although 3 people have been charged in that first shooting, there is no one charged with murder. The first violent incident at the oceanfront last night started at the intersection of Atlantic and 20th.
We now know that that started out as a physical fight, an argument into a physical fight that at some point escalated into gunfire.
A Virginia Beach officer was on scene at the time and assisted the Detective Bureau in arresting 3 people for that incident that injured 7 people. 22-year-old Amon Adams, 18-year-old Naquez Baker, and 20-year-old Devin Dorsey Jr. are facing assault and firearm charges. Next was the shooting on 19th Street that killed 29-year-old Deshayla Harris and injured another.
There are no material updates at this point. There are no arrests at this time. We do believe that she truly is, at this point in time, an innocent victim that was probably struck by stray gunfire.
And lastly, the police-involved shooting that killed 25-year-old Donovan Lynch. The Commonwealth's Attorney's Office is overseeing the criminal investigation by Virginia Beach Police. They say they don't have a lot of answers.
There was a firearm recovered in the vicinity of where this incident occurred.
Chief Newdigate says there is no evidence at this time that supports Lynch having a gun on him at the time he was shot, or if the gun found belonged to him. And there's no body cam footage.
The officer was wearing a body cam, but for unknown reasons at this point in time, it was not activated.
Now, the officer involved in that shooting will be placed on administrative leave as is standard practice, and all 3 of these shootings are under investigation.
p.m. this night. We had an original crime scene at 20th and Atlantic, in which numerous shots were fired. We had approximately 8 victims, give or take, from this location. While officers were actively working that crime scene, we had additional shots that were fired in the area of 20th and Pacific. That resulted in an individual being confronted by a uniformed Virginia Beach police officer, resulting in a police intervention shooting. That individual is deceased. We also have a second deceased individual that was not part of the police intervention shooting. We don't believe it was part of the original shooting. 11 o'clock or shortly after 11 p.m.